Testing 1, 2. Okay. All right, everybody, let me do a quick audio check. Let's see if everybody can hear me loud and clear now. Hopefully that works. All right, there we go. Just do a quick audio check. All right, good for now. Sorry about that, guys. It's my headset died again. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. But I got backups, thank God. But sometimes you don't know until you actually try it out. But it's good to see you all. Welcome back on this very quiet day on a Thursday. I don't think I've ever seen the Dow Jones after 9 o'clock only being down 1 point. Now we're down 6 points. I mean, it is literally, this is like, I mean, worse than I've ever seen it as a Dow moving. But we got some good news. I did tell you got to be careful of that Twitter trade. So you see Elon Musk made an offer right around, was it $53.50 a share? And buy on rumors, sell on news. So it's backing off. You know, it's kind of weird to kind of see how the stock is trending down. I think a lot of people are going to look at it. And, you know, personally, I own it. I bought it. Unfortunately, I bought it a little bit higher. I bought it in the rally when it came down. I rode the thing down, but I own it right around like 50, I think 51, and it ran to like 54. So, I mean, I'll look to buy more if it really is. Listen, this could be the test of the egos. So, you know, I know Twitter refuses, they want to sell, but there's only one other way. There's only one other way. Now, just think about this for a second. What would happen if they don't sell the company? Twitter. Well, after they say they won't agree to a price, what is another thing that could happen? Anybody know? Listen, if he wants it, he could buy it. Okay. It's called a hostile takeover. Okay. All he would do is he'll just buy up all the shares. That's it. He'll put it, he'll buy it. People will see it. He'll just sit there and buy it on the bid. Remember, he upgraded his up to almost 10%. He could sit there and just buy all the shares from everybody. So the board could do that, or they could or they could really make them pay for it. But you know, and like I said, it can go both ways. It could really go both. Sometimes the hostile takeover of buying all the shares could be dangerous for a public company too, because being a trader, you see how algorithms work, and they could just screw around and just keep shorting it, buying it, shorting it, buying it, whatever it is. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I like that Elon Musk announced on Twitter that in the internet to take over Twitter. Yeah, I do too. I think it's awesome. But I told you from other previous morning meetings I've done, it will be really historic for us traders to see how a major the richest person in the world that's worth almost over $250 billion and buy it. And honestly, like it's probably a bad investment, okay, when it comes to Twitter. But at the end of the day, how many of us bought bad investments in a home listen, you enjoy it, you want it, it's got value. What's he going to do with all the money, right? What's he going to do with it? So I'd rather go out there. If he wants to change the world, he could do that, just like he did with SpaceX. You know what I mean? Like, does he really need to? But you know what? When you got all that money, what's the sense, all right? And how many of you actually went out there and bought that really expensive bottle of wine and like, why going to buy an expensive bottle of wine? Just buy it, and blow all that money, or go that really expensive dinner or whatever it is. Believe me, and I've blown my fair share, or that really expensive trip. You know what? At the end of the day, you enjoyed it, and you know what? It's a feather in your cap, and you could say you did it and done it. We only listen. Life is too short, and going into one of the biggest holidays of the year, and we know the stock market's closed tomorrow. You have Good Friday, you got Easter, and you got Passover. So it's one of the reasons why the market's so dead right now. Plus, I told you this, my kids were off from school. But let's get back into trading. Yesterday, we had a really good day with some certain stocks. I want to bring them up. Shockingly, I didn't think it was going to be that good. But American Airlines, I just want to bring this up yesterday. So American Airlines, why am I not bringing that? Okay. So right here, I want to bring this up. This was an amazing trade. There was a 1 million share seller. Now, some of you see 200, 500. We saw 700 last week, but American Airlines had a 1 million share seller at $19. And this stock had a hell of a run. You could actually right here, it was around like 10, 15. And then you saw it. I'll show it next time on Tuesday's closing bell. And the stock came right back down to 850. And then what happened, if you look right here, the guy got pretty much started getting executed, and it was getting closer and closer and closer, and the stock went up. So I just thought it was amazing to see what a great run we had from this 1775 all the way up to about 1880, came back down with that big iceberg order on level 4, and then came back down. So these are the big things that you have to learn how to be a trader, and you got to look for. So don't say, because you listen, and I say this all the time, I hate American Airlines, okay? Every time I've been on American Airlines, I had the worst experience. The last time I was on American Airlines, and actually I had an employee's dad was actually a pilot on it. I didn't know that, and I felt bad. But last time I was on American Airlines, I was sitting down, and there was this little ashtray right on the handle. Everybody know what I'm talking about? You know those little ashtrays that you flip over? Okay. How old was that plane? I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting next to an ashtray, a mini ashtray. You remember those? And that's old, right? That's old. I said, that's it. Enough's enough. I'm not going on here. All right. But anyway, let's go look what else happened moved yesterday, because there were a couple other ones. The VERU, which by the way is going back on the watch list this morning. This had a hell of a run yesterday. Right around 3 o'clock, went from $12 all the way to $16. This was even better. But once again, we all know this wasn't your typical level 1 stock, level 2 stock. This was getting to a 4 or 5. This thing had some nasty shakes. You're talking 50 cents, dollar shakes. And what we teach you in class is always remember that depending what level you're at, you don't want to be trading these stocks, or you just got to trade a hell of a lot less. Okay, so that one also moved pretty well, and there was one more too. ATER was also really nice this morning too on the morning run. You see from 10:30, the thing ran from like 450, went all the way to 570, and then for some of you came a little bit later, ran from like build a huge support level right around here around 550, and damn thing shot all the way to 660. What a great run for the middle of the day. So there were a couple of good ones. The pre-market really sucked. It was really bad. It was not that good. But then all of a sudden these things started to come out of nowhere. Now let's go and talk about what's going to be moving for this morning and what to expect today. So it is going to be absolutely beautiful here in New York. It's going to be close to 80 degrees. Spring is officially here. I did some gardening yesterday. I planted some tulips, moved them around a little bit. So I expect you guys to do the same, because, if we're going to be looking what we're looking at right now with the market only being not really moving that much, it's not going to be, not going to be spectacular, especially having, Passover, Good Friday, and Easter. And the kids are off from school today. Now, we did have a couple of good things that came out today. Morgan Stanley came out with earnings. They did really well. Goldman Sachs came out with good earnings this morning. A lot of earnings came out with a lot of the bank stocks. But man, Goldman Sachs took a nasty hit. I haven't looked at this stock in a while. Wow, was that 425 all the way down there? Not looking too good, Goldman Sachs. And Morgan Stanley actually had good numbers too. It was MS. Morgan Stanley came out with some earnings, them too. All been taking big hits. What else is out there? Yeah, they all came out. But anyway, let's look at what else is moving on this morning. It's not really a big list. So we have Twitter, which I think is going to be a fun stock to watch. And I think, like I said, I own it. I didn't buy that many shares of it because of the volatility of it, and because I did chase it. One of the big things we teach it here at Cyber Trading is that if you feel like you're chasing, you don't got to trade a lot of it. Trade a lot less, because if you're wrong, you could take a little bit of a hit, and I did. But good thing I'm right back to where I started. VERU is going back on the watch list. You could see how that stock did really well from yesterday. PTGX came up on my radar. This stock got destroyed yesterday, got hammered. One issue we always say, it is a pharmaceutical stock, so we want to be very careful about that. But this stock dropped all the way down to 1625, made a hell of a little bit of a comeback. Tier size is very small. You could see a lot of 1s and 2s in there in the level 2. I'll be really cautious about that one, but you know what? Might get a little dead cat bounce on it. Rite Aid, I don't know what's up with the stock. This stock was all over. Stock got crushed. We went from 10 to 6, and now finally made a little bit of a comeback. So Rite Aid's going to be in play. It's got good volume. You can see right here, nice tier sizes, 10,000, 12,000, 6,000. So the stock does trade 1.2 million shares. It's pretty decent for pre-market when you see big orders out there. Look, you got a 50,000 share buyer at $8 already. So stock's got some scary volatility. Let me bring it up here. You can see how the stock is moving. Ran from like 780, ran all the way to 880. Now it's come back down. So it is pretty volatile. The reason why it's also very volatile is that they did do a reverse stock split on this stock. This stock was worthless at one point. So when they do reverse stock split, there's less outstanding shares, makes the stock extremely more volatile, which makes it into the next category higher. You have that one. And then you have BP. You have this one right here. Was it DPLN I had? Is that what it was? Yeah, right here. DLPN. DLPN. I mean, DLPN had a really good support levels around 375. It's starting to come up a little bit. Pre-market. I put this on the B list, but we've seen sometimes these things do come and make a big move out of somewhere. So I would probably keep an eye on that one too. But overall, I don't really see that much going on. It's kind of quiet. And it's typical. I told you this yesterday, but I was wrong when the market opened up, and that's usually what could happen. Anything I did not call out that did anyone see anything else that was out there? Chuck is bring up the whole American Airlines thing. I like that, Chuck. I'm going to share that in YouTube. That's a good one. Hold on, that's a pretty good post. I'll put that in. For some of you that are on YouTube, Facebook Live, we have two rooms running. We have our trading room and we have you're on this other room. But Chuck is obviously telling me that the ashtrays in 1978, his customers decided the seat with ashtrays couldn't have been a new aircraft. It sure was old. It really was old. I had no choice. I had to take it because it was like the only time at that time, and they had a monopoly at that state. So, but it always would be my last resort. Actually, my second last resort would probably be Spirit Airlines. I don't know anyone who had a good experience on that airline too. You get a ticket for $30, but when you're all said and done, by the time you check in your wallet and your cell phone, you're probably already at $300. They bang you for every little thing. All right, everyone. So listen, if I don't see you for this afternoon's meeting, like I said, wish you all a very happy Passover, happy Easter. And for everyone, don't get too crazy today. Don't get too cocky. And we'll see. And and there was one other big whammy I forgot. Tax season. Okay. So make sure you do your taxes. And if you paid money, listen, you might not be as enthusiastic as my accountant would say, but that's a good thing. That means you made money this year. That's what he always told me. So hopefully that puts a little smile on your face. Yeah, right. Good luck, everyone. See you in the trading room. We'll start trading when the market opens up. For everybody else on YouTube, Facebook Live, we'll see you back here at 2:30.